So the next topic is selection of a life cycle model. First is selection of a model is based on requirements, development team, users, project type and associated risk. All of them mentioned. The answer would be E because each model has to have some requirements, a team of developers, users, and risk involved in developing a project. The next is which two models doesn't allow defining requirements early in the cycle. Doesn't allow. Which two model? The answer is B. Prototyping and spiral. Prototyping models start with a requirement analysis phase, which include techniques like FAST and QFT or brainstorming. While in the case of spiral model, the first phase involves activities related to customer communication, like determining the objectives rather than creating the complete requirements. Next one is which of the following life cycle model can be chosen if the development team has less experience on similar projects. Which of the following? Less experience? The answer would be this spiral because relying on this assessment and analysis, it provides more flexibility than required for many applications which overcome the criteria of less experienced developers. So, spiral will be chosen. Next is if you were a lead developer of a software company and you are asked to submit a product within a stipulated time frame with no cost barriers. Stipulated time frame, no cost barriers. Which model would you select? And the answer would be C, RAD, Rapid Application Development. This model is inapplicable to develop the cheaper products, software projects, as the cost of modeling, hiring highly skilled developers, designers, and automated code generation is very high. But we see that here cost is not an issue. So one can select this model as it reduces the development time. So you have to give a stipulated time frame or also with no cost barrier. So best would be the RAD, Rapid Application Development. Next is which two of the following models will not be able to give the desired outcome if user participation is not involved. That in RAD we would require the user always. So we'll combine it with the prototyping. Because active in prototyping also what happens here, you make a prototype, then you show it to the user, then he will present his views or suggestions. So active participation of user is involved in all the phases of RAD model. This we already know. And in case of prototyping model, we need user's presence involvement every time because new prototype is built or designed. We will require him always. Next is a company is developing an advanced version of their current software available in the market. What model approach would they prefer? Now, advanced version of their current software because software has already been built. Now they want their advanced version. For that, the answer would be C because iterative enhancement is indicating the advanced version of the current software available. The RAD will make it in quick time. Next one is one can choose waterfall model if the project development schedule is tight. Waterfall, the project development schedule is tight. What is the answer? The answer is false because real projects rarely follow the sequential flow and iterations in this model, they are handled indirectly. So the changes or the modifications can cause confusion as the project proceeds, thereby delaying the delivery schedule or delivery date. That is why choosing waterfall model if the project development schedule is tight is not a good idea. Next, choose the correct option from given below. Prototyping model facilitates reusability of components. RAD model facilitates reusability of components. Both RAD and prototyping model facilitates the reusability of components. The answer would be C because RAD and prototype model they actually facilitates the reusability of components. Next, spiral model has high reliability requirements. Now this is a question. The answer is no. Spiral model has not very high reliability requirements. 10. RAD model has high reliability requirements. Is it true? The answer is false. Then we come to the next topic, that is requirement engineering. Requirement engineering. What are the types of requirements? Availability, reliability, usability, flexibility. all of the mentioned? The answer is E. All these are the type of requirement, and you can term them as non-functional requirement also. So all the mentioned traits, they are beneficial for an effective product to be developed. Next, select the developer specific requirement. What developer specific requirement in this are? Portability, maintainability, availability. So we'll see the answer. The answer is D, both A and B. That is why I ticked both A and B, because availability is not developer specific, but it is user specific requirement. Next, which one of the following is not a step of requirement engineering? Not a step of requirement engineering. Elicitation, design, analysis, documentation. So we'll see that the answer is B, because requirement elicitation, requirement analysis, requirement documentation, and requirement review. These are the four crucial process steps of requirement engineering. Design is in itself a different phase of software engineering, which comes after the requirement engineering or requirement specification has been made. FAST, fast. What it stands for? Fast. The answer is C. FAST stands for Facilitated Application Specification Technique. Facilitated Application Specification Technique. QFD. QFD stands for Quality Function Deployment. QFD. Quality Function Deployment. Next. A use case actor is always a person having a role that different people may play. A use case actor. And the answer is B. Why? Because use case actor is anything that needs to interact with the system. So it can be a person, but it can be another external system also. So this is not only about the person or people. It's about the different interacting entities also, like external system. Next, the user system requirement are the paths of which document? The answer is B. SRS, Software Requirement Specification. This is a complete description of the behavior of a system to be developed, and may include a set of use cases that describes interaction the user will have with the software. Next is stakeholder is anyone who will purchase the completed software system under development. Is it the case? The answer is no. Stakeholder, he can be anyone, or it can be anyone who has an interest in the project. Project stakeholders are individuals and organizations. They are actively involved in the project, and whose interest this may be affected as a result of project execution or project completion. So they are not the ones always who are purchasing the completed software system, though the people or the person who is going to purchase it, they also come in this stakeholder category. Next, conflicting requirements are common in requirement engineering, with each client proposing his or her version is the right one. Conflicting requirement, and the answer is A, because this situation is seen in every field of work, as every professional has his or her way of looking, style, behavior, thoughts onto things, and he would argue to get his or her point approved, and the developer or the project manager has to decide. Next, which is one of the most important stakeholder from the following? Entry-level personnel, middle-level stakeholder, managers, users of the software. And the answer is quite obvious, the users of the software, because the software is being made to automate something, to be used by the user. So users, they are always the most important stakeholder. After all, without user or customer, what's the point of being in business or making software? Then we come to another topic, functional and non-functional requirements. Which one of the following is a functional requirement? Maintainability, portability, robustness, testability. The answer is all are actually, the question should be like this. These are all non-functional requirements, okay, representing the quality of the system. So these are not functional requirements. So none of the mentioned. Answer is E, because none of these four, maintainability, portability, or robustness, or testability, they are functional. They are non-functional requirements. Actually, they are not functional requirements. So functional requirements describe what the function has to do, the functions which are expected out of a software. Which one of the following is a requirement that fits in a developer's module? Availability, testability, usability, and flexibility. This requirement fits in developer module. The answer is B. Testability. Because a developer needs to test its product before launching it into the market. Even the person who is developing, that is the developer or the programmer itself, he has to unit test the code, and then we go to integration, and then finally we go to the system level testing. So the answer would be B. B. Next, consider a system where a heat sensor detects an intrusion and alerts the security company. What kind of a requirement the system is providing? Function, non-function, no requirement. The answer is A, because it is actually a function requirement. Because function requirement is that requirement which describes what the software has to do. Next is, which of the following statement explains portability in non-function requirement? Portability. Can you answer any of these? Actually, the answer is D, because both A and B, because it is degree to which software running on one platform can easily be converted to run on another platform. So one platform to another platform, the software should work in both the platforms or various platforms which are being asked in the software requirement. Then the second is, it can be enhanced by using languages, OS, and tools that are universally available and standardized. This is also the portability issue in non-function requirement. So our answer would be both A and B. The option C is termed as reliability, and option E refers to efficiency. So what is reliability here? The ability of the system to behave consistently as user acceptable manner when operating within the environment for which the system was intended. This is the reliability actually. And efficiency means it refers to the level at which the software system uses scarce computational resources such as CPU cycles, memory, disk space, buffers, and communication channel. So the level of the software using these computational resources as efficient as possible. Next is, functional requirements capture the intended behavior of the system, and the answer is yes. The behavior of functional requirement may be expressed as services, tasks, or functions the system is required to perform. Next is, choose the incorrect statement with respect to non-functional requirement, which is the incorrect statement. The answer is C, quantitative approach. This finds measurable scales for the functionality attributes. Actually, the quantitative approach in NFRs, that is the non-functional requirement, are used to find measurable scales for the quality attributes like efficiency, flexibility, integrity, and usability. So the answer would be C here. How many classification schemes have been developed for non-functional requirement? 2, 3, 4, 5. The answer is D. Software quality tree, Roman, that is IEEE Computer 1985. Process product external consideration by Somerville. McCall's NFR list and dimension of quality component of FERPs. These are the 5 classification schemes in non-functional requirements. And these all are big names in software engineering field. Boehm, Somerville, and McCall. Next one, according to components of FERPs, FURPS, these are actually the five different attributes. Which of the following does not belong to S? Or this is testability, speed, efficiency, serviceability, and installability. S. The answer is B, because the speed efficiency belong to the performance P in FERPs. Of course, this is not FERPs, this is FERPs plus. So speed efficiency belong to the performance, not in S. Does software wear and tear by decomposition? This is very intuitive or straightforward question. The answer is B, because it is not a hardware. Software is reliable. Even if you can only feel it, you cannot even touch it, and it doesn't wear and tear by decomposition. Then what are the 4 dimensions of dependability? 4 dimensions of dependability. Can you answer any one of these? The answer is C. All the traits of option C, which is the availability, reliability, and security and safety. This conforms to all the dependability issues. All the traits of option C, they sync or synchronize with your dependability, availability, reliability, security, and safety. Next, choose the correct statement on how NFRs integrate with RUP, Rational Unified Process. Which is the correct one? This one or this one? The answer is B. System respond within 4 seconds on average to remote users request and changes in the environment. So system response to local user is 2 seconds on average. So this was one more installment of software engineering questions MCQ. Thank you so much. Take care.